The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Shoutout!
Hi guys, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome to another episode of Garthology. For Season 2, Episode 30, we are reviewing Garth Brooks' duet with the rock group Kiss on Kiss's song Hard Luck Woman. The New York rock band Kiss was formed in 1973 by original members Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, and Peter Criss. The band is widely known for its members' face paint and outrageous stage outfits. They rose to fame in the late 1970s with shocking live performances, which included fire-breathing, blood-spitting, smoking guitars, shooting rockets, levitating drum kits, and pyrotechnics. With their makeup and costumes, the band members took on the comic book-style characters Starchild, Paul Stanley, the Demon, Gene Simmons, Spaceman or Space Ace, Ace Frehley, and the Catman, Peter Criss. The original version of Hard Luck Woman was the first single released from Kiss's 1976 album Rock and Roll Over. The song was written by Paul Stanley and sung by the group's original drummer Peter Criss. The song was originally written for Rod Stewart, but Kiss decided to record it and it did well for them. It peaked at number 15 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. In the early 1980s, this influential rock band experienced a commercial resurgence when they started performing without the makeup and costumes. In 1994, Garth recorded Hard Luck Woman for a Kiss tribute album called Kiss My Ass, Classic Kiss Regrooved. The tribute album also included the Gin Blossoms, the Lemonheads, Anthrax, and Lenny Kravitz covering the rock monster's best-known songs. Even though Garth probably seemed like an odd pick for a Kiss tribute song, he ended up recording one of the best tracks on the album, covering the acoustic ballad Hard Luck Woman. In case you haven't heard it, here's a snippet. Check it out. On July 13, 1994, Garth and the 1994 members of Kiss performed unmasked and makeupless on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Garth performed the vocals, Paul Stanley on the 12-string, Gene Simmons on bass, Bruce Kulick on guitar, and Eric Singer was behind the drums. The original recording kind of sounds like it has a country flair to me, which intensified when Garth wrapped his adorable twang around the lyrics, both in the recording and on the Tonight Show stage. I will post a link to the video of the Tonight Show performance on our website, so be sure and check it out. So Jess and Pete, what did you guys think?
So my feelings on the Kiss collab, it's pretty simple. Kiss, it wasn't a genre of music and or a band that I listened to before, but listening to Garth and watching a lot of the specials and things that he did, getting into the covers that he did, this was one that I just fell in love with so much. He was able to take another genre of music and put that Garth sound into this song when he did the Leno special. And it just came to me with no surprise. We've seen him cover things in different genres. And truth be told, I don't remember seeing him cover any other genres until I saw the Win DVD. But then, of course, I went and I searched for them and I was hooked. And we've talked about the classic covers album episode that we did and things like that. Like, I really am hooked on covers that Garth does. But when he covers this one and that performance that he did with Kiss, I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy it. And doing the research on this, like, it was pulled up on the YouTube links that we share between one another. And I just kept playing it and playing it and playing it. Like, it's a lot of fun. You see a lot of Garth, and when you think of Kiss and the way that Kiss performs and all the crazy makeup and everything, when they do the Leno special, it just seems like it brings them all to Garth's level when Garth has the stage. And I really enjoyed it. I thought that they did very, very well together. And it's crazy to me because you have Garth that comes from the country and the music side of things. And then you have them and their music and the smoking guitars and levitating drum set. For the two opposites to attract so well, I thought it was very, very, very well done. There's not a lot of true performers, I feel, that can step out of what they are known for into a different genre and take it over and make it their own, like Garth can. And I think that this video and this performance, this collaboration with Kiss, is a very, very good example of that. That's my feelings on it. I love it. How about you, Jess?
I agree. I also think what you said about Garth being able to kind of genre hop is really apparent in this. I'm always amazed whenever I hear something, a different cover that he did or the Chris Gaines stuff. Whenever he just goes outside of country and does something different, it always seems like a natural fit. And maybe it's just that I'm not that big of a fan of other artists and that I haven't paid attention, but I've never seen somebody else be able to do that as well as he does with as many different types of music as he does it with. So that's real talent, I think, to me, to be able to do that and still do it well, no matter what type of music you're singing. But I love this song specifically. I'm not 100%. I want to say that I first heard it in maybe like 2004. I'm pretty sure somebody on Planet Garth posted it or gave it to me. And I was obsessed with it after that. I love this. Of all the covers that he does, and I don't know why, maybe I just would have loved the song anyway, but I wasn't familiar with it. So this is kind of the first, I mean, I'd heard it, but I wasn't familiar with it in a way that I'd listen to it on repeat or anything. And so this is the version of the song that I'm more familiar with, and I love it so much. I don't want to say, it's weird to say it's one of my favorites because it's not his music, but if you go by what I listen to, it is one of my favorites. It's one that I put on repeat a lot. It's just fun to have in the background if I'm cleaning, if I'm driving, and I really enjoy it. And I hadn't actually sat down and watched the performance live before, so that was fun because I've heard the song for so many years, but I hadn't watched him perform it. In the song, I think I love it all, but I love the part where it says, if not for the first hello, the way he hits that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun. And again, he does it well. And I think I would love if he would do more of these collaborations, not just with Kiss, but with other people now, because they always turn out so well. And there's so many songs that I would love to hear him just kind of pair up with somebody. And, we should do an episode where we throw out some artists of who we think, we've talked about songs that we think should be duets. We should do things like other artists we think that it would be a good fit for him to duet with that he hasn't done that before.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we know how good Garth is at covering because he's done a lot of cover albums and stuff like that. But think about the collab with some of those people, right?
Yeah.
To get them, in the same room, like Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Yeah.
And Garth on the same stage.
Yeah.
And do things like that together, like kind of bounce off each other like he did here. That'd be pretty neat.
Or even current stars right now, like newer people in like the pop arena or something different, something outside of country, people that you wouldn't normally imagine. I mean, Fall Out Boy or, somebody like that.
Garth Brooks and Eminem. Garth does like M&Ms.
Because I'm surprised a lot by people that he'll say he's a fan of or that you find out he's a fan of. And I'm like, really? But I like it. I like the idea of mixing it up that way.
Yeah. And I know, he's got the Garth channel on Sirius XM. And, they're really big on he picks the music for that. And he seems to have a lot of input. I mean, I know he's got a lot of recordings and things on there where he's talking and introducing. And so he seems to be really involved in that radio station. And they play a huge mix of music. Like it is all over the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of stuff on there that I was like, oh, Garth likes this person. That's interesting.
And I think that anybody in any genre, if they get an invitation by Garth to come and collab, CMT has the Crossroads, I think is what they call it, where they
Mhm.
bring two different genres together. There's ways of getting it done. And I'm sorry, well, if I got a phone call from Garth, I'd show up, doesn't matter. But if I am somebody else at a very high level in another genre of music, and I got that phone call to collab with him, like, man, there'd be some great TV shows, series, things like that could be done. I think that'd be great for both sides, right? The Garth side and whoever his guest was to be. I think it'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
for
think he
sure.
should make that a Netflix series.
Yeah.
He could sell some subscriptions, that's for sure.
Yeah. So just in case we do that as a future episode, if any of you Garthologists out there have somebody you'd be dying to see Garth pair up with, send it in to us and we can mention it in that episode.
Absolutely.
That'd be great. An artist and a song that they'd love to hear. That would be wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, we
That's
could
a great
discuss that.
idea.
That's a great idea.
Okay, Deb, what did you think of this one?
I actually was not familiar with this recording at all. So this was new for me. And
How did I not share this with you before? I feel terrible.
till we started talking about doing it as an episode, I had never heard it.
I apologize.
That's okay. I forgive you. But I do love it. So I'm sad I've missed out on all these years of listening to it because it's great. Kiss was big. I'm the oldest of the group, as we've talked about. And I know Kiss was big when I was young, but they just weren't my kind of music. So I wasn't necessarily into them. I know a couple of their bigger hits. I think I kind of knew this song. I just didn't know Garth's version with them. And so I really like it. And it's really good. Like, it's really, really good. I can see, because I know in the past I've heard about him being a Kiss fan. I know he's really vocal about having been inspired by them. And I'm not surprised when you think about his stage performances of like the 90s. So granted, he didn't have fake blood and grease paint, and, he wasn't all done up in those kind of costumes, but you can still kind of see that Garth's concerts were over the top crazy. I mean, all that rope swinging and, scaling the lighting and flying over the crowd and, those, harnesses. And I mean, Kiss was doing that too. If what I remember, they had those kind of crazy shows too. So I'm sure that kind of thing also inspired Garth.
Yeah.
And so I think it's got to be really super cool for him to then get asked to record, for them. And in researching this, I actually found an article in a Billboard magazine from April of 1994 when this came out. And in that Billboard article, Kiss stated that they actually wanted to keep their involvement in this tribute album to a minimum. They didn't have any intention of getting involved in any of the recordings until they spoke to Garth. And when they asked him to perform on the tribute album, Garth said, he told them, well, Hard Luck Woman fits me best, and I'll do it, but only if you guys record with me. So Kiss said they hopped right on a plane with their acoustic guitars and flew to Nashville.
That's awesome.
And Paul Stanley even said that when they got there, they all hugged each other like they'd known each other all their lives.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought that was
Wow.
cool. So I will post an image of that Billboard article on our website. So be sure and check it out.
He was like, I would much rather do a duet, actually, if it's all the same to
And I
you.
do think it's cool that he had enough star power to say, yes, I want to be on your album, but also to say only if you'll do it with me, even though they didn't do that for anybody else.
That is pretty cool.
So that was all I had. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that was it. And I'm surprised that neither one of you guys had seen that link as much as I had, I guess, leading up to it. Man, I watched the heck out of that thing. I don't know how I stumbled upon it. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, it hasn't been forever, but probably there's one of in the Wind show, he talks about the influence of guys wearing pain, in long tongues or whatever. He says something and so I think that's how I got the idea to look it up. And I mean, I've seen that video. God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen it, but then, it kind of goes away after a while and you pull it back up when you do research like this. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I wish we could get that video in HD.
Right?
It's kind of grainy.
I know. Some of that older stuff would be so great to get in better quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this tribute album overall was an interesting idea, the album itself. I think by having various artists from different genres record their songs, it allowed Kiss to market their music to an entirely different radio station set, ones they never would have done at the time, which, back then that was the main medium for listening to music because there was no, Apple Music or Amazon Music. So this way, Kiss music by Garth could be played on a country station, and that was never going to happen with any other Kiss song. So really, when you think about this album as a whole, it's pretty genius. So that wraps up our discussion of Garth recording with the legendary rock band Kiss, covering their classic Hard Luck Woman. Now let's go over to Pete for shoutouts.
Shoutouts.
Yeah, this week's shout out goes to Heather Fry. We saw that you had mentioned the Garthology podcast was one of your favorite podcasts and an Instagram giveaway that you were in. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate that and what that means to us. That is the greatest compliment that you can give the three of us. We hope that you win one of these when you mention us in the future. And again, we appreciate your support and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks so much, Heather. That was super cool of you.
Thanks, Heather.
Don't forget to check out our website for pictures and links we've discussed in past episodes, as well as other bonus material. And remember to hit subscribe on our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. If you listen to Garthology on Apple Podcasts, stop by there right now and give us a rating and write up a quick review to let us know how we're doing and to encourage others to listen. Be sure and share us with your friends in low places so they can become Garthologists too.
Speaking of friends in low places, if you are on social media, we would hope that you will follow us on Facebook. And if you do, we're at facebook.com/GarthologyCast. If you like to use Instagram or Twitter, we are at GarthologyCast there. We appreciate the time that you fans take to like, share, tweet, and retweet, and or even just a direct message to say hello and tell us how you stumbled upon us. We appreciate all the support there from you guys, and we hope to hear from each of you guys in the future. Thanks, guys.
Be sure to join us for our next episode of Garthology. That will be Season 2, Episode 31, and it'll be available on your podcast platform of choice on November 27th. Until then,
this has been Season 2, Episode 30 of Garthology, and I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Jess is like 27 multitasking things here.
Holy moly. I was like, look at her go, man. She's rocking. She's bouncing and bopping and she's jumping in. Like, damn, girl.
So funny. The dog was chewing on a boot.
What's this all about?
Oh, God.
Hashtag dad jokes.
That's for our Canadian fans. Now, what's this all about?
What's this all about?
If that boot is worth any money, you might want to grab it because that dog is humping the shit out of it in the background.
Awesome.
The dog is...
That's what was happening.
I was like trying to focus on it. I'm like, okay, I got to stop it.
Rocky.
What's this all about?
Oh my God, dog. Go lay down in your bed. Go lay down.
Take the boot with you.
Take the boot to bed.
Somebody rockin', knockin' the boots. For music that I listened to, before. But obvious. Oh, bless you, buddy. Look at you. Now, when Uncle Peter talks, you got to keep it quiet, okay? Because I get distracted. Like, oh, look, squirrel. And when you sneezing, buddy, that doesn't work for Uncle Peter. What the hell is going on tonight? Jeez. We got a dog humping a boot. We got the little bowman sneezing. The cutest sneeze I ever heard. Achoo! I said, oh, really? Oh, boy.
All the distractions.
Apparently, Bo is allergic to podcasting, apparently.